Welcome back everybody, Chris Bricks here, and as we like to say, new shirt, new day, new build. Haven't said that in a while, approximately 5 weeks. And if you've been following this channel, you know why. Because we're building that. That is a 1/8 scale, 4,099 piece Nephilis Azel, I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced, supercar Technic set. As you can see, not a tiny set. That is my shelf that every week in, week out, I'll put my new builds up there to kind of point them out, what we built last week. It doesn't fit anywhere remotely close to that shelf size, and I have absolutely no place for it, but that's as good as I can get it for this video. And to decorate it, I even hung off the ornament my wife got me that says Master Builder on it, little Lego pieces. I love it, and I thought it'd go great with the car, so that's why it's hanging off of there. Fortunately, you can't really read it like I thought you'd be able to in the video. Oh well. Anyways, amazing set. This was recommended by one of the viewers of this channel, Toy Guy. He said I would love it, guaranteed it, and I did. With the exception of one bag, it was an amazing build. Had no problems, like I said, that one bag, I had 2 missing pieces, but 2 missing pieces out of 4,099, that's not a bad ratio, to be honest, especially with Nephilis. That has been really hit or miss with some sets missing pieces, but overall, this is a beautiful Technic set. I highly recommend it. We're not going to spend all day praising this thing and showing you all the cool tricks it has up its sleeves. If you want to check that out, I'll go ahead and post the different parts, all 5 of them, down below. And then that way you can cherry pick what you want to see, or you can look at the last episode. I think I went on for like 20 minutes at the end, breaking down everything I saw, from the paddle shift functionality to the axle lift suspension to the adjustable air brake of a spoiler in the back. Yeah, and not to mention, it's a really great price for how big that vehicle is and how many pieces, and it's absolutely challenging. So if you like that kind of thing, check out the videos below or buy it yourself and let me know how you did. Did you like it? Not like it? What were your thoughts? Okay, this week we got a lot easier build because I need a break, okay? These 1.5 hour long bags, we don't need any more of that. This set shouldn't even take an hour in itself. Now, it's not going to be as quick as the little Kada Bricks Quad Alpha over there, but it's one we're pretty familiar with, the brand and the series as well. But first, here's the hint from last week. And I'm sure a lot of people that tune in here are car people. I mean, I mostly build car sets, so I guarantee the second you saw it, it's like, oh, I know what you're building. Not an old set, but not a spanking brand new set. But let's bring it in. We have the Dodge Challenger Hellcat Speed Champion. I've had this set for a little while. I've been waiting to build it, and honestly, what I like about it best is this is how I would actually spec out my Hellcat. I think it's what, Sublime Green is the color with it. I apologize if I'm off. I'm trying to remember just off the top of my head. With the matte black or satin black hood, the satin black spoiler. This is the exact spec I would get. As much as people probably hate this color and how bright and loud it is, I absolutely love it on the Challenger, because the Challenger's a boat, so you can't miss it with this color. Absolutely love it. So when they made the Speed Champions with my favorite color combination and spec, you knew I had to get it. So what are we looking at for this? Well, we have 390 pieces, which isn't too bad. We spin it around the back, you get the actual kind of CGI version of the car compared to the front. And the Challenger, although it's kind of bulky, it is kind of curvy also at the same time, weirdly enough. So, you have to kind of squint a little bit to get the Lego version to kind of look like the real version, but I don't care. I like Challengers, I love them. I love the Sublime Green. I love the satin black hood. That's all my kind of thing. So I don't care if it's ugly. It's still cool to add to your set. Now, I did notice that there are possibly 3 stickers on this. Haven't opened it up, have no idea how many. I'm hoping all those are actually pre-printed on, because I'd hate to put on those clear stickers that remember your fingerprints for the rest of your life that gets put on them. But let's open up this box and see what's inside. All right, bag is open. And as you kind of expect with Speed Champions, you get 5 bags. Nothing really overloaded, look like they'll be pretty quick bags, which I really like. I don't know if this is one of those sets, like I see online, people on Instagram showing off their new Lego sets and they're all that like paper bag. I haven't experienced that yet because I have a bunch of backlog older sets, so it's all the noisy plastic. But this one has bagception going on. We got a regular bag with what looks like the paper bag on the inside. It's almost like it's slow rolling you into this concept of, hey, how do you like this little paper bag over here? Wouldn't it be great if the entire bag was like that? So, I don't know. I honestly don't care when it comes to the bags. I'd rather have it clear and plasticky, just so I can see and make sure I didn't keep any pieces by accident in here and throw the bag away. But like I said, pretty straightforward. Almost every bag has one of these little paper bags hidden in it, kind of like a, little toy at the bottom of a cereal box. We have the traditional bottom part of the chassis where the cabin will be for the vehicle. So far, unless it fell somewhere, there are no stickers. Thank you, Lego. Thank you. It's not like there was a bunch of stickers anyways on the design or on the box, but there are 3 possible stickers that look like they'd be a complete pain because of how tiny they would be. But as far as I can tell, they're not there. Amazing. Love it. Keep it up, Lego. You must have been listening to me. It's all me, right? We look at here and we got our friendly little mechanic Hellcat owner. Can't tell if that's gray hair or just the outlines of his black hair, but he's probably in his mid-40s. He's got to drive a Hellcat because why not? He worked hard. He deserves it, right? And you're looking at 124 pages of build, which is a little more than I expected. Usually it is around the hundreds, and about 119 steps. Overall, pretty straightforward. All of these look like pretty simple 1 to 5 pieces kind of at a time. This should be super easy compared to that. That was a challenge. Like I said, check out the videos, man. The gearing, there's like 8,000 gears that make this thing operate compared to this that has 390 pieces for the entire set. But anyways, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get this car built and added to my collection. So let's build. Bag 1 is done. 7 minutes, 51 seconds. Just your usual Speed Champions build out kind of the bottom part chassis where all the tires are going to connect, some of the interior pieces, and of course, we have our minifig, Bruce. Bruce, he is ready for his Hellcat. He's been waiting forever. He got it spec'd out just how he wanted it. And not only that, he's so excited, he wore his special vest or coat. Can't really tell on this outfit. It's either a jean vest or a full jacket. But in any case, he has checkered flags. He has a guy doing a burnout with fire coming out of the tires. He is ready to go. And of course, he's spec'd out Dodge Challenger Hellcat with over 700 horsepower. And why did he do that? Because he needed to get somewhere fast. And where's Bruce going? He's going to Starbucks. That's right, because he found out it's around the September time frame and pumpkin spice frappuccinos are back on the menu. That's right. And you know who's right in that passenger seat with Bruce? I am, because I love pumpkin spice and I love pumpkin coffee. And I don't care what anybody says, I'm secure enough in my masculinity to admit pumpkin spice frappuccinos are delicious. But we're getting off topic, kinda. So why bring up the Starbucks, right? Bruce here has a Starbucks coffee. Now, this isn't going to come out right. You could kind of see the lid. This set literally comes with a Starbucks grande coffee for him to sip on while he's driving his Hellcat Challenger. That's right. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, what is this piece for? And I look at it closer. I'm like, oh, it's coffee. From a coffee chain or a coffee shop. I'm using Starbucks because that's what we have locally. We have other places too, but that's the main one. And I just find it hilarious that of all the things to include in this set with a Challenger, Hellcat, Dodge, and Speed and everything, sipping on his coffee that he got in the drive-thru. Okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's a unique piece. I've never had a coffee cup Lego piece before. And another surprise was that Bruce also opted for the automatic. That's right, we just got the full regular automatic in here, no manual, like in some of the other ones. And, there's always that debate which one's better. Automatic's going to be faster because it's going to be able to shift gears faster, but some people like the feel of rowing their own gears. So, it depends what you're into. But I guess it makes sense for him because if he's going to be drinking a lot of coffee, hitting a lot of Starbucks drive-thrus, he probably should keep it automatic because what's he supposed to do? Drink his coffee, shift gears, and steer with his knees? That's not safe. That's not what we do. So he got the automatic. And I went way too far into this, but straightforward build. Let's move on to bag 2. Bag 2 is complete. 10 minutes, 23 seconds. Not too bad at all. As you can see, Bruce is showing everybody his cup of coffee. He picked up another one because he just needs to be wired, especially for a high-strung car like this. So, what did bag 2 do? He built the rear end on the car. And as you can see, we got Dodge, we got SRT, all of those pre-printed. Thankfully, I would have hated to have put those on these little tiny pieces, but they're already put on there. We have the taillights, the bumper, and that's pretty much it. Definitely got a generous amount of leftover pieces. So far we have 6 in this bag. There were 3 in the other. There's these little gold, almost look like diamond type pieces. I don't know why it's used. They're sitting underneath. They're kind of sitting, it's hard to see them. They're kind of tucked away underneath all the panels and everything. So I'm not sure why LEGO went with these. I don't know if there's some kind of Easter egg with this or they mean something. I don't know. I didn't pick it up. I mean, it kind of resembles the old Chrysler symbol, but that was a kind of a pentagon. This is got a lot more sides and a little more round than that, but who knows? Maybe it's something to look up, right? Definitely coming together. I do like how they did the tail lights, especially with the modern ones that have the thin tail lights. They kind of use these red gratings. I don't know how to really describe it, but of course I don't have extra one to show you, but that's what they use for this. And overall, straightforward, nothing complicated. A little bit hard to see where to place a couple pieces in bag 2. And speaking of bag 2, I've had 2 of those paper bags. So far I hate them. They don't open easily and pieces like to get stuck in them. I don't see the benefit of using them. I like my plastic loud bags. I can see where pieces are that do a nice little smooth tear. Those paper bags, I feel like I'm some kind of bear ripping open a car or something. It's ridiculous. And one more interesting thing. You have these little like black pieces here. They use skis, a pair of skis inside the vehicle. So interesting choice. Not sure why, but hey, I'm not a LEGO engineer. That's above my pay grade. So let's move on to bag 3. And just like that, bag 3 is done. 10 minutes, 13 seconds. And it almost looks like a perfect slice of a car, like this has been at a chop shop and just completely cut in half for all the pieces. Now, as you can hear, people racing out on the street, not far from the house. We have about 4 leftover pieces. So, bag 3, it just continued building. You got a lot more going on. I will say, for Speed Champions, these are some of the best looking seats. You know how I am about the interior seats, especially when LEGO cheaps out or doesn't cheap out. And how Nephilis does some amazing looking seats. These, for LEGO, are amazing. I love how they look. I like the color. And honestly, I like how they kind of replicate, like, if you look at some of the Challenger or Charger, higher end seats, they're so big, or well, they look so big, and they got the bolsters and all that, and they kind of tried to duplicate it here, and I thought they did a really good job on that. It's very creative how they made it, and I give them applause for that. Now, with the good comes the bad. They also got creative with building some of these pieces. Look at this thing. It looks like a mosaic. Just use regular pieces to build the side. I'm not going to be mad at you if you use the same technique for the last 12 years, but it looks smooth. What's going on here right now? I literally want to go out to a body shop, buy some body filler, fill this in, and respray it, because it looks bad. I don't like how it looks. It literally looks like a mosaic, a Roman mosaic that you unearthed, 2,000 years later. Honestly, if they would have just used their regular pieces, they got all those slant pieces, and just use their 1x1s or their double stacks and all that stuff, they could have made this look really nice, really smooth on the side, especially since the Challenger has such big fenders and a rear quarter on it that you can't have it looking like that. It's just really disappointing that they went that route. They went unnecessarily creative for creative's sake. And when you build this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Or if you check out the time lapse on how this whole piece is made up of 12 different pieces that are kind of shifted together and then connected by a little C-clamp on the side. No, just use regular pieces, snap it together like you do every other Speed Champion set. So I love the creativity of the interior seats, absolutely amazing. I hate the creativity that went into doing the rear quarters and all that. They look awful. I'm sorry. It's a disappointment because I really love Challengers. I was really looking forward to this one. I'm not going to let it kill my mood though. It's all good. I'm going to add a beautiful spec Hellcat Challenger to my set. I'm going to be happy about it. But LEGO, sometimes you don't have to get that creative. Sometimes the OG way works just fine. So we have bag 4 next. So let's build. Bag 4 is done. You're looking at just under 14 minutes, and you can see we got more of the side profile done all the way up to kind of the front bumpers. We got the Hellcat insignia on each side. Fortunately, not a sticker. Thank you for that one, because all this has been printed on so far, and like I said, there's no stickers on here, so you don't have to worry about stickers, which is amazing. But pretty straightforward. You're building out the front. You can kind of see it here, as well as kind of what the front end's going to be. A lot of creative engineering going into this. I don't know how it's going to look or the reason for it. Maybe we only have one bag left, so maybe bag 5 will explain it a little more, because I think there's a lot of unnecessary over-engineering in this. I can say at least they use solid flat pieces so you get that nice, beautiful curve to it. Not like the rear end that looks like it's been hit 10 too many times doing burnouts in intersections, and they had some kid with no experience with Bondo applying it to the side of the car. I still don't understand why they did that. But the front, nice and smooth. Definitely like that part. So we'll get to it. Oh, he fell over. Having a little too much coffee, Maybe he's, putting some whiskey in that coffee. He can't stand straight anymore. But we have one piece left. One piece out of that bag. So bag 4, this is the only piece you have. So if you're missing something else, this isn't the one you're looking for, check the bag, check the box, check the floor, and hopefully you'll be good. So let's move on to the final and 5th bag. is done. 12 minutes, 57 seconds, and I have some issues with this. I really, really, really wanted to like this Speed Champion. I love Challengers, absolutely love them. And this is a Hellcat, so you got over 700 horsepower. The whine of that supercharger when you hear them going down the road, absolutely beautiful song and dance that they do. Not only that, this is the wide body. It's in the green I love, and it's specced out with the matte black hood, just like I would have it. This is literally my dream spec Hellcat. I know a lot of people hate the green, but man, I love it on these cars. And I really wanted to like this one, but I don't. I'm glad I have it because it's one of those Speed Champions that I feel as a huge Challenger fan ever since I saw the concept car come out way back in the early 2000s. I've loved it. Always wanted to get one, never did, never had the right opportunity. And even this time I could have before I got my Giulia, but the Giulia is just an amazing vehicle to drive, and I couldn't pass it up for the deal I got on it. So, but this, okay. Let's go over hold time first. You're looking at 55 minutes and 12 seconds from start to finish. So this Speed Champion does take a little longer, and that's probably because of the creative engineering. That's a common theme in these bags I keep mentioning that they do. I think they tried too hard on this one. Like the Challenger is kind of a boxy car. It's not like old school boxy, but it doesn't have sharp angles. It's kind of, they make fun of it as being a land yacht for the sports car scene. It's bloated, it's heavy, it's big, and LEGO makes enough pieces where it could do a really good job on this Speed Champion, and I feel like they didn't. I mean, looking at it right now, look at proportions. I mean, I understand the Challenger has, that big front end on it, but for some reason, the proportion doesn't seem right. It's like chopped, or, it needs to be up a little higher, and the back end is too flat. I don't know what it is. It's something about this proportion is off. Maybe I'm just seeing it wrong. You can disagree. Let me know in the comments below. But I feel like the proportion is off. I don't know if it's because of the small tires or what, but something is off on this, and I don't know what it is, but I don't care for its stance. And then we get into, sorry, I realized I put the bumper off crooked, and it's part of that. There we go. Now we got the bumper fixed. The next part is the wheels. Okay, I don't know what wheels these are, but I understand they're trying to go for maybe that steely look, like you left your car out parked street side, it came out, it was on cinder blocks, and you didn't want to pay $2,000 for OEM wheels, and you didn't really want to get aftermarkets in case they get stolen again, so you went ahead and put on the old Steelies or something, because these reminds me of the same wheels I had on my high school car that was a complete beater. So for this being a newer set, a newer-ish set, I felt like they could have done a lot better with the wheels. I mean, look at the Ferrari, the SF90 I think it was, that I built. That thing was amazing. That was an amazing looking, it might not have been SF90, but the Ferrari one. Check a few videos back, I have it out there. But those wheels were absolutely beautiful. They looked like Ferrari wheels, and I think they should have done that with this Hellcat. These just look like plain old Steelies, something I had some leftover pieces in my Lego bin, I plopped them on, and hey, there's Hellcat wheels. That's not the case on this. So the wheels bother me. The profile bugs me. You can even see, it may be hard for the camera to see this, but these two pieces here, it's not like you have flat pieces. There we go. You can kind of see it through the reflection. You notice one side is off to the side. It's part of that creative engineering that they're doing all through this, where unnecessary complication. Not that it's difficult to put together, it's easy, it's just a few pieces. But the way it's held on doesn't need to be held on by the little C-clamp prongs. You don't know how much of this car is put together with the little C-clamp prongs all over the place instead of just connecting pieces. They could have easily have duplicated this and it would have been perfectly fine. Then you got the front splitter. I mean, that's the best we got, LEGO, this front splitter. You do know that the front splitter on it kind of goes around the entire car. I mean, it looks like it kind of got busted off because you curbed it too much or something. And we get to the back, which I've already talked about. Man, look at this. And that's me trying my hardest to make sure all these pieces are perfectly flat and flush, pushing them on the table to get them so they're as even as possible. And it looks like ripples. This thing looks like it's been through 12 accidents. And someone used some Bondo and Krylon, and there you go, OEM paint job. I don't get it. And why these? Why are those there? Why is it not smooth like the rest of the car? I don't recall on the Challenger there being 2 giant bumps on the side. Not to mention, shouldn't there be one over here with a little, you could take one of these little round pieces here. I know I'm kind of far from the camera to give you guys more of a view when I show off stuff, especially with that 2 foot long, amazing build. By the way, I'm not angry at it. I'm still angry from this. That amazing build to get that so you could see the whole thing. But this, there should be one right here. I'm trying to remember if they're driver's side or not. I believe they're driver's side. With a little chrome cap for the gas tank on it, like Challengers had. But I don't recall these little bumps in the rear, so I don't understand why they're there. And it's just a disappointment. I hold LEGO to a higher standard than other brands because I consider LEGO to be like Rolls-Royce. I understand other block brands are definitely catching up and making some amazing builds. Like I think it's Kato with that AMG GT build. Look at Nephilis. That was an amazing build. Beautifully done build. Incredibly challenging. Your fingers don't fit anywhere to put pieces together, but a beautiful build. So with brands that I'm not as familiar with, I give them a little bit of leniency because, I don't believe they've been around as long as LEGO has been around. I mean, come on. They're like the grandfather of block brands. I put them at the Rolls-Royce level because you expect that after all these years, especially for the premium price that LEGO puts on their sets. They should be that good. So that's why I hold them to a higher standard. You may be thinking I'm nitpicking, you don't agree, and that's fine. Put it in the comments. What did you think of this set? It's a set that I had to have because I love Challenger. Like I said, this is spec'd exactly how I would get a wide body Hellcat, just like this. But I do not like how this looks. I don't like the choices they made for how it was put together. And it does not look good. It's an ugly one. It's a shame because I really, really want to like this car. I really do. Not only that, because it was also a gift for me. So I really, really want to like this car, but it just, I just wish that someone at LEGO, after they put it together, looked at it and was like, maybe we can improve here or there. Maybe we don't need to C-clamp half the car together. Maybe we actually put rear windows in here because someone must have busted them out while trying to steal the Challenger. I don't know. That's right. There is actually a gap there. You can see in the reflection right there. Windows are busted out the back. They must have left, a wallet on the seat or something. I don't know, but it's broken into and things are stolen out of the car. But it leaves me speechless that this is a more modern Speed Champion set and it looks like this. I don't know. I know I'm being really redundant on this review, but it's a shame. I just wish they kept to what works. not try to get creative with how to put things together. I mean, the side of the car, when you get up to this area, it's nice. It's those solid curved pieces. It looks good. It gives that roundness that the Challenger has. You could have done that here too. You could have had pieces that were smooth, not this 35 1x1s and all connected onto a little C-clamp on the side. Not necessary. Didn't need to do it, and I think it ruined the Speed Champion. Okay? This one is just ruined. Excuse me. Man, it's making me cough. It's so bad. I really wanted this one to be good, and it sucks. I will give them credit, the headlight situation, which uses C clamps again, but they're clear, because on the modern Challengers, that's kind of how they are. They got the rings, almost like the halo lights from BMWs, the rings around it, and then they got the halogen that will sit in the middle, or in this case, the air intake they have the rings and the air intakes right there. But they did a good job with that, duplicating that. I will give them credit for that. They did a decent job on the taillights. I don't think they should put clear pieces behind the red because it's not like that in the Challenger. I guess they're going for the backup portion of the taillight, but honestly, they're all blacked out except for LED red ring around it. I guess the other good thing about it is our minifig fits with his hair. No problem. Completely flat. Good job. Still questioning why they made it an automatic and he had to have a Starbucks in the car. I guess that's just modern day midlife man. I don't know. But I guess I did admit I will, pumpkin Frappuccino season comes in. I guess I will have one in my Alpha, so I guess I can't really complain, right? But overall, if you love Challengers, I guess get it because of that. If you're not a big fan of Challengers, honestly, I would skip the Speed Champion. It's not even worth the 55 minutes of putting it together because I feel like they just did such a poor job with design. And if you disagree, let me know. Maybe I just suck at putting this one together or something. But let me know in the comments what you thought. Did you like this one? Hey, if you did, that's perfectly fine. Everybody has their own opinions about it. You completely disagree with me? That's fine. Let me know in the comments. Maybe there's something I'm missing about it, but I just feel like this could have been better. I'm just, disappointed on it. But I appreciate you listening to me rant for this last section of the car. It's probably not as, oh yeah, this is great, I loved it. I had all these things that I usually do with LEGO because honestly, 9 times out of 10, I love their sets. I think they make some great sets. This was not one of them. I would even say that the McLaren, Solus GT that I have hidden away because I hated it so much was probably a better experience of a build than this one. That one's still an ugly Speed Champion. I don't care for it. I don't like how LEGO designed that one. But this one, this one's pretty rough, especially with the ripples down the rear quarter right there. Yeah, you can see them. And you take it to a body shop. So if you've kept watching through all of this and you enjoy what you see, I promise I don't rant about all of them, but you like Speed Champions, you like Legos, you like Nephilas, you like Blue Bricks, which unfortunately I can't get in the country right now. I have to wait on those ones to bring more sets in, but Cater Bricks, I try to build them all. I'm not just limited to Lego, I just have a lot of backlog of Lego. So that's why you'll see a lot of it on the channel. But if you enjoy car builds with the occasional Game Boy build, amazing Lego set right there. That's them engineering perfection for Lego. I'm not going to get on that soapbox again, but if you have a Lego set that you want Lego at its finest, right there, you can check out my video too. I do a full review on all the Easter eggs and all the coolness that they build inside of it that you never would even know is there unless you're looking at it. So Lego does have that capability. But, I try to build whatever sets are fun, and, I do this part-time, so this is fun for me, and thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Thank you for following. If you follow, if you subscribe, awesome. If you leave comments, I absolutely love that. I love responding to them, and I love seeing them because you guys give some great inputs. Hey, Nicholas, the last 5 weeks, that was somebody's suggestion. So I went ahead and did it. I've also got a few other suggestions I'm going to look at as well. They're bigger sets, so I can't just sit here and buy them left and right, but they're definitely on the list. And when the hint comes, you'll have to search the comments for which one am I going to build. We're also on Instagram, where I'm also on Instagram. This channel, you can join me there and it'll be all of us, right? Right over here. We're at like 715 followers now. Pretty good. Absolutely love seeing people's builds for the people that I follow. I'm following over 2,000 people on it, and there's some amazing builds. The block community in general is really amazing, really awesome. And if you want to follow me, I always drop hints on what I'm going to build, usually Wednesday or Thursday, in case you don't want to look at the hint, which for next week, we have this hint. And I'm sure you'll be able to get it. There's probably a lot of car people on this channel, hence most of my builds are cars, and everybody who subs probably likes cars. I can only make that assumption, but I hope you guys have a great week. And I can't wait to get next week's build started because I think this one will actually look pretty good in this category of this block brand. So we'll find out next week. Hopefully much better experience than this. But anyways, have a great week and keep building.